everybody, and welcome to Betweenplays Stock Market Strategy. And here we go. Once again, we have John Passalacqua from First Phosphate. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Albert?
I'm doing great too. Thank you very much for asking. It's been a little while since we spoke. I'm super excited about the direction of the company, and of course, a lot of people like to know what's going on. I'm going to ask you some specific questions, and that way we can get directly to the heart of where we're going. John, my first question to you is, what inspired your interest in entering the phosphate mining industry, and what led you to focus on producing for the electric vehicle market?
Yeah, so when we found these claims in Quebec, I thought it was exceptional. The quality of the rock. I think the fact that you can make a lot of purified phosphoric acid, being that 90% of the Quebec igneous anorthosite will convert into purified phosphoric acid. That was really special to me because it means I can have a business that's 100% focused on the LFP battery industry and the downstream clients that are technological client. So it allows me to make really technological material, right? Whereas guys who are working with igneous rock phosphate, 90% of what they make will always be fertilizer grade fertilizer grade phosphoric acid, and only 10% will be purified phosphoric acid, meaning that 90% of their business remains in fertilizer, and they can't really focus on the PPA and the technology client. So I thought that was a tremendous barrier to entry. I thought the ESG side of igneous rock and the way that gypsum can be recycled and can have full circularity, it's perfect for what we need in the battery space. And the fact that these are very rare rocks inside of North America, and there's really no other exploitable type of new igneous deposit in North America. I just saw such a big moat around it that to me, this is it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's a secular opportunity. Yes, it takes time to get there, but it's something that I see, tremendous runway at, and the ability to get to multi-billion-dollar revenues here within a few years. And it's not going away. This is not Bitcoin. This is not NFTs that are volatile. Like, we're talking electrification, decarbonization. If anybody thinks that that policy directive at the UN level or at all the levels of government here in North America and Europe is going to go away, I think they're dead wrong. I think that is the way forward. Yes, it's a lumpy ride. It's a tough ride. Governments can say certain things and they want certain things to happen in certain timeframes, and maybe it takes longer. But I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that electrification, decarbonization is the way forward for society. So I mean, how could you not be in a better sector? And with the type of rock that we have and all the advantages, I mean, it's just a matter of time. So we're patient, we're building every day, and that's why I'm involved here. I just see a massive moat around what we're doing.
Concerning the ESG point of view, can you discuss the specific steps you plan to take to ensure that your phosphate mining operations are environmentally responsible and sustainable?
Yeah. So first of all, let's discuss a little bit of the backdrop on that. And I'd like everybody to go to our website to click on the link where we have our properties, our assets. And if you look under our flagship, which is La Colonial, you go down a bit, you'll see a study that was done by Queen's University specifically for First Phosphate, analyzing sort of the ESG nature of the deposit, saying basically meaning the environmental friendliness potential of the deposit, and it's all there. I mean, they've looked at it, the fact that it's igneous rock, the calcium sulfate being the gypsum can be recycled. There's low sulfur to the deposit. There's low radioactive elements. Pretty much full circularity can be achieved in the process. Full recycling of most, or if not all, of the materials. And we also have a smaller mine closer to infrastructure. That is because 90% of this goes into purified phosphoric acid. So meaning we can have a mine that's a tenth the size of a sedimentary mine that makes purified phosphoric acid. So it's lower capex. It's more manageable mine size, which obviously is a better impact to the environment. We're sitting at surface. We're sitting near infrastructure. The mines are as close as you can get them to the port. That comes down on the carbon footprint. Also, if you look at our mineralogy, which is on the same page, you'll see that we have a full non-solvent based recovery method. We extract magnetite, which is iron, and we extract ilmenite, which is titanium, because the phosphate comes inside of apatite, which comes together with ilmenite and magnetite. So we extract out the magnetite and the ilmenite with magnetics. That's all sort of natural process, if you will, no solvents. And then when we extract out the phosphate, we use an emulsification process to do that. That also does not involve solvents. So we recover the phosphate, and also our second and tertiary recoveries. All that is done without adding solvents. So we're fully environmentally friendly on that level as well. The low sulfur is obviously a great thing for this type of a deposit, and we plan to continue down that path of the least amount of environmental and social impact in what we do, because we feel that that's important in the battery sector, right? There's no point in creating batteries there's no point to going towards electrification, greenification, and decarbonization if the processes that get you there are destabilizing to the environment. And that's why it's also important, Albert, is to bring these processes over to North America from China, because the environmental degradation that occurs over there to create batteries, to me is what I would call, I call it and I call it out. It's called, environmental arbitrage, right? Like, why on earth are we buying batteries and other products from different areas of the world where the labor standards aren't the same, the environmental standards aren't the same, the social standards aren't the same, the ethics aren't the same? Why are we doing that? Just for cost? Well, no, we have to bring these processes back to North America. They have to be done properly and they have to be done clean. And that's a solution.
That's really interesting you bring that up, because it leads me to my last question. And my last question is, how do you see that macroeconomic environment play out in terms of mining jurisdictions around the world? What is Canada's part in this new electrical vehicle revolution?
Yeah, so obviously, I think Canada has a really big role. North America has a big role. Europe has a big role. I think the Western world is able to lead it all. I think we have, in a certain sense, the ethics, the morality, and the environmental standards set very high the bar, and I think that's the right place to be. So I think other countries need to follow quickly. They have to come up with standards. The competitive processes have to become the same. Around the same sort of terms of engagement, the same rules. So I think we have to continue the way we are. Obviously, it takes longer in our countries in the Western world, especially those with the higher standards, to create the mines, create the products, and that's because we have standards and we have ethics around the way we go about development, right? So I think tremendous leadership from Canada. I see it. We applaud it. We hope that our governments will step behind us and realize that for entrepreneurs in Canada, we've got the bar set very, very high. If that bar is not set the same way in other countries, that's an impediment and a barrier to us. However, what the Canadian government can do is attempt to support industry as much as possible, realizing that we are at a disadvantage because we have standards to live up to that in some other countries they don't, and that affects costs, it affects time to market, it affects a lot of things. But what, I would have it no other way. I think we are living or coming towards the electrification prerogative in the proper way.
I completely agree with you. John, I would like to thank you so much for being here on Betweenplays Stock Market Strategies, and hope to see you again really soon.
No, that's great, Albert. It's always great to be with you and with all of your contacts. And please remember to include all your disclosures at the bottom of this interview, at the top of it. And we thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, John. I'll see you again very soon.
Okay, thank you, Albert. Bye-bye.
Between Plays, it's the journey and what you do between where you are and where you want to be. Research.
Disclaimer: Betweenplays has a contract with said company in this video at the time of recording. Betweenplays only takes contracts with companies we believe have an opportunity to deliver a product or service based on our own research. That being said, always do your due diligence. Seek professional financial analyst when investing. This video is for entertainment, educational, and informative purposes. See description for more information.
Between Plays, bridging the gap between companies and investors.